Hi, guys, I'm your host Lopi, and you're watching Domicile Live. Today, we're introducing Russian techno DJ and producer, now based in Miami, Julia. Oh my God! Hi, Julia. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So one of my biggest questions I had first was, how did you get into the Miami music scene to begin with? Like, where did this all start? Like, before making music and before being a DJ, like, where did the interest in the Miami underground music scene come from?
So it all started on the dance floor. I started raving, going to festivals and clubs in 2015, and I was just so connected with techno music. My body was moving. I was watching other people dance. I started dancing myself. A little later, I found out I was actually shuffling, and I became a shuffler. I joined a crew called FYF here in Miami. And I became like a very competitive shuffle dancer. And then I started hosting meetups, and those meetups turned into mini raves. And then I decided that I really want to be on the other side of the music, actually controlling it, bringing the vibes to the people, making other people dance. So I put shuffling in the back burner, and I decided to focus on DJing and producing and basically that. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So your musical interest, it didn't start with techno per se. It was just easy, like EDM music.
It started with techno.
It started
Straight
officially
techno
with
at the
techno.
mega structure at Ultra.
Oh,
I was
that's
dropped off,
awesome.
and that's it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Straight with techno.
And I know that techno is more of like it's an acquired taste. Not everyone is like a huge fan of techno to begin with. Um, how do you introduce techno to new people that have not really ventured off into the genre to begin with? You know, whenever you go to Ultra or these mega festivals, a lot of people are at main stage. How do you introduce techno to your like newer peers?
That's a good question. I feel like over time, techno evolved a lot as well. And back then, it was slower. It was just like very basic, dark techno, maybe even a little bit housey at times, like tech housey. And my own taste evolved too. I got more into groovy techno, then into harder techno. And I feel like with newer people, you just kind of have to feel it out what they're really into and start off with that. Some people jump straight into hard techno and they love it. Someone who was listening to like dubstep or hardstyle before will really enjoy like hardcore and hard techno. Whereas someone who comes from like a more housey background, you can start groovier, you can start slower, you can show them hard groove. And then from there, it's just like, you train your ear for it. One of my roommates in college, she used to hate my music. She listened to like 50s rock, and I would still play it whenever I could. And then by the end of the semester, I caught her listening to a techno set, and I'm like, "What's that?" She's like, "You know what? I actually found that it helps me study, kind of puts me in the zone. It like hypnotizes me almost, makes me focus." So there is a way to enter techno for everyone, I think.
And what do you think one of your biggest struggles becoming like a techno DJ? What have you seen, like what struggles had to you had to overcome?
Definitely self-doubt and anxiety and fear. You have to kind of just, get all your confidence together and just keep doing it. It takes a lot of practice, takes a lot of trial and error, takes a lot of mess ups. And eventually, you just get there. Eventually you gain that confidence from like your actual skill, and from the crowd and from people supporting you. So I think that was pretty much the biggest roadblock for me, just getting over myself.
And when doing a set, one of the biggest things is crowd management and being able to also play technical like technically, and also making sure you have a gauge of the crowd. How do you read the crowd when you're DJing?
You keep an eye out, and you kind of have to listen, and you can throw in a track and you can hear people just going crazy for it, and then you're like, all right, this is what this crowd is feeling. Let's bring them more of that. Sometimes you want to give them a break. You're like, all right, I've been going hard for too long. Let's give them some space to dance. And yeah, keeping an eye out on the crowd, just kind of seeing what the situation is on the dance floor. Are they dancing? Are they still there? Is the dance floor becoming more empty? Is it getting fuller? Yeah, all while just staying peeled.
And And do you have any techno inspirations? Like, who do you think you would most compare your music or your set style to?
That's also a good question. I feel like that evolves as well. One of the biggest inspirations for me lately has been Funk Tribu. I also really like Mac Declos, La Chessy. Their music really inspired me and opened my eyes on a lot of things and like which direction I can go. That it's not only hypnotic techno, that it's not only hard techno. You can find something in the middle, something that's interesting, something that's dynamic. I love me a good vocal moment, so yeah, that it definitely changes over time and by like watching different artists, I feel like every good set that I go to, that's like a new inspiration right there.
And through your evolution, how have you seen your style change from beginning to now? And if it has,
I think it definitely has. I think I started DJing just, dark techno. I started dabbling into it back in 2017, 2018, and haven't really committed until 2023, which is not too long ago. So I feel like overall my core kind of stayed the same. I still like groovy and hypnotic techno and hard techno. And over time, I feel like I just found a better balance between the two and found a way to move around between everything from groovy to bouncy to harder sounds.
and last but not least, a lot of people that are watching now, they want to venture into the music scene, but they're either scared or just need some words of wisdom. What would you tell someone that is looking up to you and want to get into this industry?
Don't be afraid. If music is your passion, follow it, keep doing it, just don't stop. Just keep loving music and loving what you do and don't be afraid. Just do it. Just do it. Nike, just do it.
Just do it. And there you have it, guys. That's Julia, and you're watching Domicile Live.